Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're going to talk about foot drop. Foot drop is not a very common problem or injury that you get in day-to-day living, but in some cases, if I have a patient who comes to my clinic with foot drop, unfortunately, in majority of cases, it comes from lumbar spine injuries. Specifically L4, L5, disc herniation or bulges that can compress and have a severe compression in the nerve root and cause that basically numbness, weakness, and lack of power in one side. The typical patient that you see with foot drop, they are not able to walk or create a proper steps, and their basically foot become literally dysfunctional in regards to dorsiflexing. Now, the main cause of the foot drop can be divided to different reasons. It is not always coming from lumbar spine. It can come from lumbar spine and specifically L4, L5 disc bulges, but there are other causes such as stroke, MS, some type of diabetes, or let's say a severe injury or trauma to the basically knee, specifically the side of the knee that can damage the peroneal nerve, which is the branches of our sciatica nerve. These are not necessarily common things that can happen in day-to-day living, but if you are suffering from foot drop due to lumbar spine disc bulges or herniation, this video is designed for you. We're going to go through a series of exercises and how you can progress this exercise over time for your recovery. If you've never been in this channel, my name is Bob. I'm a physical therapist, and the purpose of this channel is to help people like yourself with simple tips and exercise for quicker recovery. Make sure to subscribe to my channel for my weekly update, and don't forget to press that like button. Let's get started. Alright guys, as I mentioned earlier, the signs and symptoms of foot drop can be limited to a couple of things that patients come and present. Now, the main thing that foot drop that get really affected by is literally the muscle group that we have in front of our shin, which we call them tibialis anterior and peroneal nerve, and basically supply these muscles. Tibial anterior basically dorsiflex the toes, which means bring the toes up to this direction. Now, if you're suffering from foot drop due to spinal, basically L4, L5 disc bulges, typically it can actually affect the nerve root and cause a bit of dysfunction of peroneal nerve. And in this routine, I'm going to share with you a series of exercises that you can challenge basically this muscle and gradually build up movement there. Now, you have to understand the foot drop is not a very quick fix. You need to understand that you have to assess with your practitioner or I suppose orthopedic or neurosurgeon that whether you're not under any other type of I suppose urgency cases that we call cardiac, which can come with foot drop as well. This is a thing that you have to get clear before you're following this routine. Make sure to assess with your physician that there's no other signs and symptoms alongside with foot drop that you may have that you may need kind of like more invasive options of treatment. Now, in this routine, I'm going to share with you what are the options that you can try and follow. Now, some of these exercises doesn't need that much equipment, but in my clinic, I use particular stimulus that help to activate the tibialis anterior muscle. I'm going to share with you at the end of this video and you can give it a try. In some cases, you may need that device to progress to get the full function of tibialis anterior. Let's get started. The first exercise that I'm going to share with you guys in this routine is basically passive activation of the tibialis anterior muscle, which is like literally I'm going to show you how to do this movement. In this movement, you're trying to use a kind of like assistance of basically like a resistance band or a belt if you have. And what you're trying to do is that you can't technically do this movement and you want to try to practice this passively, which means you're trying to bring this up, and by bringing it up, you're basically getting to dorsiflexion. And in dorsiflexion, you're trying to let your body hold in that position passively, which means you're trying to hold it for 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, and relax. And then you're gonna practice the same move one more time. You bring it up with a bit of assistance and let it go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and let it go down. You practice these exercises daily, once or twice, for optimum results, for maybe 3 sets of, I suppose, 8 to 10 repetitions. Let's go one more round. You're gonna go all the way up, hold it there, 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. Now, this exercise is passive isometric hold. You practice this daily, and the more you do this exercise, this nerve root become more awakened, and you can basically get more control of activating the tibialis anterior. The following move that I'm going to share with you guys is going to be nerve glide in a seated and prone position. I'm going to share with you both of these. This exercise helps you to activate basically your sciatica nerve, and is a flossing basically technique that helps to awaken that nerve again. To apply this movement, you need a bit of assistance of the resistance band. Why? Because the normal movement that you do for a nerve glide is basically a dorsiflexion and neck extension, and you do this at the same time. Now, because you can't really bring the foot up to the dorsiflexion, you can use assistance, and literally with the help of resistance band, you can try this movement and try to basically get a bit of assistance how apply this move. Yep. You're going to try this exercise for 3 sets of 8 to 10 repetitions. As you can see, this movement should be within a comfortable range, which means you don't want to bring it too high. As you can see, I'm trying to relax and move my neck and my foot at the same time. The same movement can be done on prone position, which means you're going to lie on your back. Okay, I'll show you on this leg because it's easier. Let's presume that your left leg is the one that is affected. What I'm going to do, I'm going to bring my foot and I'm holding that tension there to keep that going. All the way up, slow control down. Control up, slow control down. As you can see, my knee is stable and I'm trying to get that nerve flossing movement in and out. Now, you can practice this exercise either way or both of them daily for 3 sets of 8 to 10 repetitions. Make sure that to go within the comfortable range of movements that you do have. All right, guys, the following move that I'm going to share with you guys is progression of the first 2 exercises that we did. We presume that the right leg is the one that you're suffering from foot drop. In this movement, you trying to basically get more range down to the leg, which means you're trying to bring the basically foot to plantarflexion, which is full range down, and from plantarflexion, bring the foot to the point that you feel good, which means within the range that feels comfortable. And you can hold it there for 3 to 5 seconds. Hold it there, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Then you want to go slow down, full range down from there, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Slow down, all the way up. Hold it there, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Slow down, and go back one more round. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Now, make sure that you're spending good amount of time on doing the first 2 exercises while you're progressing to this. And if you still need a bit of assistance, you can still use that basically the band until you get the full range of movements. Try this exercise daily 2 to 3 times for 3 sets of 8 to 10 repetitions. The following move that we're going to do, guys, is going to be calf raises. If you're suffering from foot drop due to lumbar disc bulges, calf raises can be very weak, and in this routine it is essential for you to train the calf muscle. Do not forget, guys, that when you're suffering from foot drop, we are going to work around a lot of different movements that you will be doing in a day-to-day living, which means functional movement like squatting, for example, or bending or twisting, and you need to build up those basically pattern of movement in your body again and neutralize that. And there is no one movement that's going to fix your basically foot drop. You're going to gradually challenge your body in different activity, and is not only focusing on your tibialis anterior muscle to basically challenge that muscle. You're going to work around your whole body, which means your hip muscle has to be getting strengthened, your calf muscle has to get strengthened, and that neural pathway will develop much more stronger if you challenge your body in that way. I'm going to show you how to do the calf raises. You need a basically a step or stairs, and you're going to basically try this movement in 3 different directions. We're going to start with the straight, and as you can see, we're going to go full range down and back up. We're going to try this exercise for 3 sets of 12 repetitions. The second set, your toe is going to be out, all the way up, slow down, back up, and down. Now, toes in, still control, back up, full range up, and back down. These are the 3 basically angles that you're going to do the calf raises. Now, while you're doing this exercise, if you find some of the exercises are easy, I'm going to share with you at the end of this video how to progress them and gradually get more range and movement in them. The following move that I'm going to share with you guys is going to be isometric hold with resistance band. This is more advanced movement that you need either a loop of resistance band or just tie up a normal resistance band and create a loop. What you're going to do in this exercise is that you want to challenge that dorsiflexion movement in isometric hold, which means you're going to wrap this around 2 legs. And we presume this is the leg that is challenged and has a foot drop, and you're trying to get to that range of basically movement of like dorsiflexion, and try to basically flex your hip and hold it in that position for 5 to 8 seconds. 4, 5, 6, 7, and relax. Drop it down. You're going to go one more round. Toes up. Flex it up. Hold it there. 5, 4, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, and relax. The goal of this exercise is, guys, to be able to hold your foot in dorsiflexion and don't let it to drop, and maintain that tension with the resistance band. You're going to try this exercise for 3 sets of, I suppose, 5 repetition. Hold it between 5 to 8 seconds and try to gradually challenge yourself. Give it a try and let me know if you have any questions. All right, guys, as I discussed initially, what you probably need to do in some stage of your rehab, if you find the home exercise routine does not giving you much of, I suppose, progress, you definitely need some sort of assistance to get from basically this complex basically stimulator, or in your physio clinic or hospital, they might have different devices that basically can stimulate muscle contraction. It is not a tense machine. It basically helps you to engage that muscle fiber and tense them. Now, this is a portable device that I have in my clinic, which is, I use it for my patient with foot drop, and literally you can simply adjust it here. And as soon as I adjust this, basically I can feel the tension that machine give me on this basically tibialis anterior, and it kind of like get the tense all the way to my foot. It is pretty strong sensation. While you're using this machine, you basically have adjustment of the tension and pressure, how much you can actually engage it. And as soon as you basically engage the machine, it senses the intensity, how much you want to give it, and you can carry on the similar exercises while you have this on basically your basically shin bone. Yeah. Now I'm going to share with you what I do roughly, and you can practice the similar exercise that I shared with you earlier while you basically having this. As you can see, when you connecting this machine, you can see the pulses. I'll give you a closer view. It's straight away, you can increase the tension. And while you have these pulses, you're trying to basically try initially with that dorsiflexion while you have this movement, and go back to some sort of normality, which means initially you want to practice just the basic dorsiflexion. Then you want to do the same thing in standing or kneeling position. Toes up. And then the patient slowly, gradually start to walk with this device, which means you're trying to get the full gait practice. Gait practice can be challenging. Why? Because it takes time to get the full range, but you're trying to practice that full range of dorsiflexion, toes up, and get through the cycle. Now, I share with you series of exercise initially that you can start, but I might say that as you can see, this is pulsing very strong. My foot is moving right away, which is, that's why it can be very beneficial for you if you're suffering from foot drop. But I share with you the exercises that I mentioned initially. You need to understand this exercise, the initial phase of your rehab. You can do them at home. The later stage of your rehab has to be supervised with your physio. Make sure if you have any question, leave me comments. I will be happy to help, but you need to understand that every single person has an individual customized plan that has to follow from a supervision. It is not very simple to get back to activity without getting help and clarity and pure information. Give it a try and let me know if you have any question. Thank you for watching this video, guys. I hope you find this video helpful. If you have any question regarding foot drop or lumbar spine pathology like disc bulges, herniation, stenosis, or any other type of injury that you see in your MRI scan, I would be happy to help you with a customized plan that gets you back in action with a bit of clarity and idea that what you should do on a daily basis. I do have example of my basically patient testimonial who have had foot drop here. I leave it for you here in the link below, and you can basically click on it and have an idea what we do in online consultation and how can I help you online through a customized plan to get you back in action and help you with your foot drop. If you have any further question or basically inquiry, leave me a comments. Don't forget to press that like button and make sure to subscribe my channel for my weekly update. Thank you so much for your support. Until next week, all the best.